Welcome back to Games Revealed. I'm James and also The Brink, and today I want to talk about some games that you wouldn't expect to work on the Steam Deck, but that do, that are not verified, but they do. Well, some of them are workarounds, some of them are just newer things that you just might not know about. And a couple of them are are a little old, so it's a little surprising they're on this list, but this is my list, and so we're gonna go over it. It's just five games that is, that are interesting that work on the Steam Deck. And hopefully they'll be verified, but I guess it doesn't matter because they do work. Now, before we get into this list, make sure to like, subscribe, bash that bell with your crowbar. Now let's get into it. The first game up on the list is Back 4 Blood. Now, this is a game that did work, from my understanding, a couple of weeks ago. People were able to install it and play it. They just couldn't play it online. And when the developers of Back 4 Blood, Turtle Rock, I believe, they went ahead and patched the game to allow it to work on the Steam Deck online too, along with Proton. I don't know what level between the two, but I do know that I'm pretty sure there's a patch that they did to help to allow, I'm assuming, the DRM to run on the Steam Deck. So now you can play with your friends online if you like that game. I love the game. I think it's awesome. I know some people are a little disappointed because it's not as good as Left 4 Dead, but it's still a fun zombie romp to just go around killing zombies and just without a care in the world. It's really difficult though, so be wary of that, but it is fun. And now you can play it together. And it's cool that the company is kind of adding support for Proton, or, you know, keep it in mind, I guess, to have support for Linux in a roundabout way through Proton and Wine. It's in their patch notes. I have everything that I'm going to talk about today. It's going to be in the description below, so you can always go to sources if you need to know how to get it to work maybe on your Steam Deck. I'm not going to go over all the steps of how to get it to work on some of these games. You do have to do multiple steps, but with that one, you do not. You should be able to just download it. It should work with a regular Proton, I believe. I don't believe you have to go with like Proton, Glorious, Egg Roll, or anything like that. But Back 4 Blood does work. And from my understanding, it looks pretty good. I'm excited. I can't wait until I can try that game out on my Steam Deck. Next up, this is a weird one, so hear me out. Lord of the Rings: Return of the King, that is. I really liked the Lord of the Rings games on the PC. I played them quite a bit, and so to see that works was just a flashback. And this is a Reddit post. A lot of these are on Reddit. And the reason this one's on this list is that they were able to play a couple hours at least, and they say it's working fine. It's a nostalgic ride for sure. So if you've ever played the Lord of the Rings games, then you're going to love it. If not, then I don't know if the nostalgia helps the ride. It helps the game play better in my eyes, because just some games, it's like some of the old Zeldas, I just can't get into them because the nostalgia is not there for me. I just can't do it. It's really just not fun. This is one of those games though that's really fun. If you like, and maybe you can get past it. If you like Lord of the Rings, you might be able to get past it. It is fun, and it is through and through a Lord of the Rings style game. It's not like anything funny going on, in my opinion. You play the games, they feel like Lord of the Rings. It doesn't feel like they change things. You know, some games or movies to game don't turn out very well, but I do like how the Lord of the Rings did. So next up, Arkham Asylum, and I believe a lot of the Batman games altogether do work on the Steam Deck, just you have to do some fidgeting. I believe with Arkham Asylum, you had to do Proton Experimental to get that to work. And how you do that is you should do it on the set in the Steam Deck. In the UI, you can set in the settings portion of the game what Proton compatibility or like version you want on it. And so there's multiple versions on there, and that's how some of these have to work. You just have to tweak, and it's kind of a little bit iffy at times. One of the things that I want things to just work for console gamers, but this is one of those things where it won't. But you know, once you do it once, I feel like the tweaking's not too bad. But Arkham Asylum is an amazing game. It's going to be really fun on the go. It's the type of game that would be perfect for me on the go. I really am excited to get back into that game, and I am going to play the hell out of that once I get it. Like every other game I say I'm going to play. So I just going to have to carve out like a whole month, and maybe I'll stop doing videos then and just lounge around the house and do nothing but Steam Deck. Or I can just post a I don't know, maybe I'll have the camera on me the whole time. We'll just do the 24-hour stream of just me playing it in the shower, in the toilet, eating, dressing, you know, whatever it is. Like, it's going to be a 24-hour, 7 days a week stream of me playing games like Arkham Asylum, but I could only wish. No, it's going to be a game that's going to be awesome. Tangent over. Let's get on to the next game. MTG Arena. And this is one that it's kind of obvious. Like, it's one that you actually definitely have to go through extra steps to get it to work, but you install it through the desktop. Essentially, you can download it on the desktop and then you install it through the desktop experience on the Steam Deck. And then you have to go into, I believe you connect it to via the non-Steam game route in the Steam Deck UI, and then you can apply emulation to it, or essentially apply the Proton system to it. So you can allow the game to be properly ran on the device. And you can do that with a lot of third-party or not Steam games. Just they may work, they might not. This is one game that from my understanding, does work through that method. I'm not going to go through it much more. There's a lot of tutorials on the internet about that, and there's also sources in the descriptions that you can go and hunt down. I will do, when I get my deck, I'll be doing more tutorials and more how-tos on how to do that type of thing, but I don't have the deck yet. So one day soon I will have it. Okay, next up is Far Cry 6. And the person that reported this on Reddit, they're playing it on Ultra via Ubisoft as a non-Steam game through experimental Proton. That is really interesting. I know Far Cry's tend to be optimized for console. That could help with this on the Steam Deck, as the Steam Deck shares similar architectures to the current and past console generations. And so that could help it a little bit, but it's cool to hear that it works. And I believe it's not verified yet. So it's another one that I'm glad to see that you can play on the deck. I'm glad to see any game, right? We want more and more games. We're over 2,000 games verified or playable on the Steam Deck. I know some people are a little disappointed in that, the time frame that has been, but for me, 2,000 plus games is amazing. And to be honest, maybe I'm just being kind of a dick about this, but Dead Space is on it. Dead Space and Witcher 3, those are the only games. I mean, I could live without Arkham Asylum. Do I want to? No, but I could, because at least Dead Space is on there, and it's too much Dead Space talk. Let's wrap this up. I know. I talk a little bit too much about Dead Space, but I love it, and I love that there's a remaster coming. That's it. Let me know in the comments below what games you've seen that are playable on the device that are not verified yet, or not really being talked about, like something that's surprising to you that, hey, this does work. This one random person over here has played it, loves it, just like the Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. I was a little surprised that worked out of the box, but you know, I bet you a lot of the older games work pretty maybe easily. I don't know. I don't know how the Proton works with those older games. I know that they're going through the whole compatibility process through popularity, and I'm assuming the more popular games are slightly newer. So with that, I want to know. And also check out our Discord channel server. If I can never get that right, I don't know. And then also, we'll be doing some events, so keep an eye out on that. We'll be doing some live streams the next few days. So if you're watching this day 1, day 2, just keep an eye out on our Discord server, or in our posts on YouTube. You'll get the updates. So thank you guys for watching. Check out my other videos, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out. Later.